yogis, namaste. Today I'm going to guide you through a short, about 20-minute or so morning flow practice. I'm calling this a quick morning flow. This is a great practice when you don't have a lot of time. The last couple of weeks for me have been really busy, absurdly busy. In addition to teaching my virtual classes, teaching my live classes, and teaching a bunch of privates, I've also been dealing with people coming to the house to fix things, and because we're getting ready to sell the house and we're getting ready to move. So if you've ever worked with contractors or people like that, you know there's always like this window and you have to just kind of sit and wait, and things just take time. So I've been really busy with that. And because of that, I've been neglecting my yoga practice a little bit. So what I've tried to do is just try to find time during the day. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes it's before bed, where I just put my mat down and give myself 20 minutes just to move my body and usually just get a little bit still and do a short meditation or something, just to help me kind of connect back to myself. When I don't practice yoga for a long time, I can definitely feel it in my body. I start to feel real stiff. My patience is a lot less. I lose my patience a lot more. So yoga definitely helps me manage stress and keeps my body nice and healthy. And I wanted to give you guys a few of these classes so that you have the classes available to you when you're short on time for whatever reason. So I'm going to have about 3 classes that I'm going to provide for you. One's going to be a morning class, like what I'm going to teach right now. The second one will be a mid-afternoon class, and then the third one will be an evening wind-down class. So for this morning practice, again, I recommend this kind of first thing in the morning when you get out of bed. If you know you're going to have a real busy day, do this class and you will feel so good the rest of the day. I've been practicing this way for a while. My mornings have been kind of my go-to time for myself because the rest of the day has been really just challenging. As far as props go, maybe a blanket to sit on towards the end, but other than that, you should be okay. And let's go ahead and begin. So we'll start in child's pose. And what I want you to do in this first child's pose, so keep in mind, in the morning, our bodies are a little stiff, a little sleepy, so we're just going to ease into the practice. And bring the big toes together to touch, send the hips all the way back towards the heels, and then from there, make a little pillow with your hands and let your forehead rest on your hands. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. So when you breathe in and out through the nose, just notice how the body begins to move. Lengthen your breath as much as you can. So start to increase the space between the inhales, the tops, and then the end of the exhale. Now keep your hips reaching back, but go ahead and stretch your arms forward now. And see if you can lift your forearms away from the floor and allow your upper back to drop a little bit. So let your forehead drop down towards the mat again. Keep lifting your forearms and let your upper back drop. And of course, if you need something to pad between your ankles and your hips, always option to place a blanket there, especially if your knees are a little sensitive. Good. Grip the mat with the fingertips, root down through the knuckles, and then lift the forearms, roll the inner shoulders towards the ceiling. Good. Now press the palms of your hands flat and then start to make your way into a tabletop position. So from this tabletop pose, bring your knees underneath your hips, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. So on your inhale, lift your chin, lift your sitting bones. And then as you exhale, round your back and tuck your tailbone. And then again, inhale nice and slow. So lengthen your heart forward, slide the shoulders away from the ears. And then from there, exhale, begin to round your back, tuck the tail, let your head relax. Good. And then one more just like that. Inhale, find your cow pose. And exhale, round, finding your cat pose. Now, find a neutral spine, and I'm going to say walk your hands a little bit in front of the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to add a little extra movement here. So the next time you inhale, find your cow pose again. So let your belly drop, lift your sitting bones, lift your chin. And then from there, as you exhale, round your back and then shift your hips towards your heels as if you're moving into child's pose. Good. Now stay fairly low to the mat. As you inhale, start to pull your chest forward. So your elbows are bending backwards and you're going to slither your way into a cobra pose. So press the pubic bone down, lift your chest, and then from there, press the hands and the knees down, pick up the hips, round your back again, and move into child's pose. So hips all the way back or as far back as you can get them. And then again, look towards your thumbs and then just pull your sternum forward. So keep your forearms low, keep the elbows bent, and then as you come up forward, then press the hands down, lift your chest for cobra. And then from there, round your back as you move to your tabletop pose and make your way back to child's pose. And let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, slither your way into a cobra. So continue to move the heart forward and up. Once you lift your chest, slide the shoulders away from the neck. And then press the hands and the knees down, round your back, come back into a child's pose. Last time. On your inhale, slither into that cobra pose again. So it's kind of like that knees, chest, and chin, but then press the hands down, lift your heart, and then from there press the mat away. As you come into the table, round your back and shift your hips towards the heels. Good, now from here, come into a tabletop position and let's begin to make our way into our first downward facing dog. So tucking your toes under, lift your knees and your hips. Good. Now start with your knees bent. You might even separate the feet a little bit wider if your hamstrings are feeling a little bit tight. And then keep your right knee bent. Work your left leg straight. Send the left heel down. And switch sides. So bend the left knee, press the right heel down. Do that again. Bend the right knee and press the left heel to the floor. And then same thing. Bend your left knee and press the right heel down towards the floor. Now go ahead and bend both knees again. And with both knees bent, try to stretch your hips up, up, up towards the ceiling. Move the tops of your thigh bones back. Keep a slight lift under the forearms and start to press your heels down towards the floor. Lift up through the lower belly. Now keep your feet at the back of your mat. Go ahead and walk your hands towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Good. Now, if you need to, bend the knees so you can touch the floor with your fingers. And then just like we did in the down dog, bend the right knee a little deeper and just work your left leg a little straighter. So pedaling the legs here. And then switch sides. So bend the left knee and work the right leg a little straighter. And do that again, just slow and steady. So easing into the hamstrings. Try to relax your head and your jaw. And then exhale, switch. Good. Now even out the legs. Lean your weight slightly forward. Take a big breath in. And then just really let your torso hang as you exhale. Relax the neck and the jaw. All right. Now walk your hands back to the front of your mat, finding your downward facing dog. And then when you do find your downward dog, take a peek at your hands. Just make sure that your wrists are about shoulder distance. Index fingers point forward. And then slow and steady, inhale, come to plank position. Now remember, if you need to, bring your knees down towards the mat. Otherwise, try to draw your navel up, lengthen the buttocks towards the heels, and move your chin forward a bit. Now keep your left leg on the floor. Lift your right leg a few inches off the mat. So three-legged plank pose. Take an inhale. Now keep the hips this low. As you exhale, lower the right foot down. And then we'll switch sides. So lift your left leg a few inches. Three-legged plank pose. Take an inhale. And then from there, lower the left foot down. Take one more big inhale. And then come back to down dog. Exhale. All right, take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and let it go. Ha. Look forward, walk your feet towards the front of your mat. And then once you're at the top of your mat, keep your feet about hips distance apart. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. So hands to shin bones or fingertips stay on the mat. And then from there, exhale, fold forward. Now with your feet hips distance, knees and toes pointing forward, bend your knees for chair pose. So we're taking a wider chair today. Now, once you're in your chair pose, see if you can bring your weight back into the heels, drop your seat and lift your navel. If it's comfortable on your shoulders, reach your arms up and look forward. Now keep your chest lifted. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. So prayer hands. And then start to turn your upper body to the right, as if you're coming into a twisting chair. Now notice how that left knee likes to move forward. See if you can move it back a bit so that the knees stay level. Now keep your hands in prayer. Lower your chest towards your thigh bones a little bit. And then lower your left hand to the floor in between your feet. And then from there, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. So it's kind of a modified twisting chair pose. Ground evenly through your feet. Keep the left hand pressing down. Turn the left ribs to the right and take the right shoulder back. If it feels comfortable in your neck, look towards the right thumb. Take another breath in. Now from there, bring both hands to the mat and start to fold forward. Go ahead and release your head. Inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Now exhale, fold forward, release your head. Bend the knees for chair pose again. Good. Nothing wakes us up more than chair pose does. So once you're in your chair, again, keep the knees and toes pointing forward. Keep sliding the shins back, sit down a little lower, draw the belly in. Now again, bring your hands together in front of the heart. Now with your palms together, just turn your torso, your upper body to your left now. But try not to move your legs. So again, peek at the right knee. If it's moving forward, move that shin bone back. Twist a little more. Now start to lower your ribs down towards your thighs. Keep the legs in chair. And then place your right hand on the mat in between the feet and reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then lean your top shoulder back. Try to turn the right ribs towards the left ribs. See if you can lean your head back a bit too. And don't forget your breathing practice. Sit lower, lengthen the spine, look up if you can, take another inhale. And then bring both hands to the floor and fold, straighten the legs a little bit more. Now inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold and release the head. Now keep the legs straight this time. On your inhale, come all the way up to stand. So ground through the feet. Take the arms wide and reach them up towards the ceiling, maybe looking up. And then from there, bring your arms by your sides. Let's do a few cycles of half sun salutations. So inhale, stretch the arms wide and up towards the ceiling. Nice slow breath in. Exhale, bring the hands to the mat and fold forward, Uttanasana. Now inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Come back to a forward fold as you exhale. Lower your hands down. Press the feet down as you inhale. Come all the way up to stand. So ground through the feet. Reach the arms all the way up as you breathe in. Exhale, Tadasana, arms by your sides. We'll do that one more time. Just moving with the breath. Real simple. Inhale. Take the arms wide and lift. Exhale, hands to the mat and fold. Let the head drop. Inhale, lengthen, lean forward a bit as you do so. Exhale and fold, release your head, release the neck. Inhale, come up to stand. So ground down as you reach the arms up, draw the belly in and lift your quadricep muscles. Exhale, arms by your sides, mountain pose. All right, and we're gonna add on. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, big breath in. And then from there, exhale, bring your hands to the mat and fold forward. Now inhale, lengthen your spine, find a flat back. Now place your hands on the floor and step your right foot to the back of your mat. So you're in a very long lunge. Pause here, try to come onto your fingertips. And as you bend your left knee, press your back leg up. Keep reaching your chest forward and slide the shoulders away from the ears. Square your hips off and draw the navel in. Now ground through the center of the front heel. Start to bring your arms back towards the back of the mat. So reach the arms straight back. Spread your collarbone nice and wide. Ground through the front heel. Now reach your arms forward and turn the palms of the hands to face each other. Thumbs point up, pinkies point down. Now put a soft bend in your back knee, and then from there, rise up into a crescent lunge. Now once you're upright, draw your navel in. See if you can reach the arms up, but relax your trapezius muscles. And without losing the bend in your front knee, try to press your back leg up a little straighter. Keep the hip bones moving towards the lower ribs. Maybe you look up. Take another inhale. Exhale, bring both hands onto the mat. Now from here, step to plank. Hover in the plank pose, look forward. And then from there, we're going to lower to the floor. So slide forward, bend the elbows through chaturanga all the way down. Now point your toes, lift the heads of the shoulders. Inhale to an easy cobra again. Lift your chest. And exhale, lower down. Now try tucking your toes under. Lift your knees away from the mat as you breathe in. Now press up to plank pose as you breathe out. Pause in the plank pose, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now take a deep breath in and a nice long breath out. Now inhale, lift your heels up away from the mat. Look towards your hands. Bend your knees, step or hop the feet to the front of the mat. So you're back in a forward fold. Now lengthen your spine as you inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold, release the head. Press your feet down, inhale, come all the way up to stand. Take the arms wide and up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. Exhale, arms by your sides, mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms wide and up. One more side, lift your ribs. Exhale, hands to the mat and fold forward. Now inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Lower your hands and step your step your left foot to the back of your mat. So now you're in a long lunge again. And then just pause on the fingertips for a moment. See if you can bend the right knee until it's above the ankle. Right knee and toes pointing forward. That right outer hip, steer it back and firm it in a little bit more. And then really press the top of your back leg up. Now reach your heart forward. Feel stability and strength in your legs, and then start to float your arms backwards again. And as you reach the arms back, again, try to widen your collarbone by lifting the shoulders. Keep your chest low, reach your arms forward. Again, palms face each other. See if you can lift your biceps so they're in line with the ears. Put a little bend in your back knee. Keeping that, slowly rise up into your crescent lunge. Once you're in the crescent lunge, see if you can continue to draw the front ribs in, and then without losing that, start to press your back leg up a little straighter. Reach up with those arms. Maybe you take your eyes up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, bring both hands to the floor. Now step your feet into plank pose. Right foot next to left foot. Exhale, lower slowly, all the way to the floor again, through chaturanga. Now point your toes. Inhale to a cobra. So go ahead and lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, lower yourself down. Now tuck your toes, press the knees away from the floor as you inhale. And then press into your plank pose. Exhale. Pause here. Take another inhale. And then exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a deep breath in. And a nice long exhale out. Okay. Gently bring your knees to the floor. And then once you brought your knees to the floor, lower your forearms to the floor. Have your forearms parallel and your elbows the width of the shoulders. Wrists directly in front of the elbows. Spread your fingers wide. Now keep your hips fairly low, setting up for a forearm plank. So stretch one leg back, followed by the other. And we'll hold this for a few breaths. If you need to drop the knees at any point, feel free to do so. Otherwise, really use this as an opportunity to build strength in the core and build that fire that you might need throughout the day. That sense of confidence. Keep the back body moving towards the heels. Keep the front body moving towards the heart. Take another breath in. Now we're going to walk the feet towards the elbows, coming into dolphin pose. And then when you walk your feet towards your elbows, keep your head off the floor, but let your head relax. And then work the feet a little closer if you can. See if you can press the heels down. You can always do this with your knees bent and stretch your thighs up. Press the forearms down, root your inner hands into the floor and roll the inner shoulders forward. We're almost there. Take another inhale. Now walk your feet back so you're in forearm plank again. And then pause in the forearm plank. Look towards your thumbs. Try not to let your head drop. Take another breath in. Good. Now lower the pelvis onto the floor. Okay. Once your pelvis is on the mat, slide your elbows forward a little bit if you need to, and just gently lift your chest. Feel as if you're trying to pull your chest forward and slide the shoulders back and down. Take another inhale. Now exhale, lower, and then slide your hands in the cobra position, pointing the elbows back. From there, inhale, lift up for cobra pose, lift your chest. As you exhale, lower down. Last time, tuck your toes under, lift your knees away from the mat, and try to press into plank pose from here. So press the mat away. Pause in the plank pose, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, come into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a deep breath in through the nose again. Open your mouth as you exhale. Okay. Gently bring both knees to the floor. And then go ahead and sit down when you're ready. And we're going to just ease into some nice hip openers before we finish up. So did quite a bit of strengthening. Now let's open the hips a little bit, which is so nice to do before a long day. Start first by crossing your right leg in front of your left leg. And what I want you to do is cross more at the center of your shin bones so your heels line up with your knees. And of course, support yourself if you need to slide something under your seat for a little lift. Please do so, okay? Now, turn your upper body towards the right knee a little bit. And then basically what you're going to do is walk your hands at a diagonal over to the right side. Like more in the direction of the right knee. And as you reach, notice how that left sitting bone lifts. Try to ground the left sitting bone down. And this is a really, really nice stretch for our QL. Take a few slow, deep breaths here. So it's always nice, especially in the morning, to create a little bit of balance in our bodies. So a little bit of heat building, a little more of an invigorating practice, but also that kind of soothing, calming part of the practice too. Now walk your hands back in and then face forward. Now you have a couple of options. You either stay just like this, or if your hips feel really open, you can cross your right ankle on top of your left knee for or double pigeon or Agni Stambhasana. So either one is fine. Just make sure you're doing what feels right today. Now take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward and fold forward. And just take a few deep breaths. Let your head relax comfortably. Fold as much as you need to. Some of us might not need to fold very far at all. Maybe you stay a little more upright, and that's okay too. Good. Couple more deep breaths. See if you can start to focus a little more on the exhales as we begin to wind down. Okay. Now slowly walk your hands back in, okay? And then once you're upright, bring the bottoms of the feet onto the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the side for this. And you can keep your hands on the mat if you need to. Lean back a bit and lift your legs up. So boat pose, good. Feel free to keep the hands grounded. Hold on to the backs of your legs or take your arms forward. Just a few breaths. We're not going to hold this too long. All right. Take one more inhale. Okay, now from there, go ahead and cross the opposite leg in front. So left leg in front of the right leg. And have your ankles and heels a little more in line with the knees. So same setup, Sukhasana or easy seat. Now turn your ribs towards your left knee. Sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. And then from there, again, walk the hands more at a diagonal over to your left. Kind of at a diagonal over the left knee. And ground the right sitting bone. The more that you do that, as you reach the right arm, the more you're going to feel that sense of release in the lower back. Especially for those of us that spend a lot of time sitting at our desk during the day, that can start to cause pain in the lower back. So these side bend stretches and hip openers are a really nice way to temper some of that. Take a few more deep breaths. Now slowly walk your hands back in so your spine is vertical. And then take your left ankle and cross it on top of the right ankle, or place it on top of the right knee, unless you prefer to stay where you were. So either double pigeon or keep your foot on the floor. And then sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. Walk your hands forward as you breathe out. Okay, just take a few slow breaths. Easy inhale and exhale. Good. Try to tip your pelvis forward, especially if you're fairly open. You want to make sure that you're doing this. Good. Now crawl your hands back in. And then last time, place your feet on the floor, knees bent, pointing up. And again, you have the option to keep your hands on the floor and lean back a bit when you pick up your legs. You can hold the backs of your thighs, or you can float the arms forward. Good. Maybe a little smile, lift your chin, lift your sternum. Take another inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, just cross your legs any comfortable way. Make your way into a seat. Let your hands rest on the knees, palms up or down. And just take a few moments just sitting here breathing. Okay, allow your eyes to close. Try to relax your forehead, your mouth. And especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning, this is a nice time to set intentions for your day. Using your practice as a way to wake things up and set the tone for your day. You know, I don't know of anybody who intentionally wants to have a stressful day. So imagine your day running smoothly, peacefully. You're in control. You're calm, you're centered. And see if you can bring all these feelings, this energy, into the rest of your day, and whoever it is that you might be working with too. And thank you so much for joining me. If you have some time, please feel free to lie down on your back and take a few minutes in Shavasana. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope this practice really helped. Thank you. Go in peace. Namaste.